Welcome, welcome, friends. OG Murphy here with you. Things are a little chaotic behind me today. I made a handmade gift for our White Elephant Gift Exchange this year, and I'm not cleaned up yet. Tonight is going to be a short session. We are having a guest, in tonight who's playing a major NPC in my campaign, Cade the Wizard, played by our buddy Matt. So everybody's going to be, doing some role play here. There's been a lot going on. There'll be some exposition. It should be pretty silly, pretty chaotic. Lots of stakes when you're talking to somebody who can literally just turn you into a chicken, which is what happened at one particular scene here. And so, it should be fun. This is not a particularly politically correct stream, so no offenses ever intended. Hopefully none is taken. We are kind of a rowdy bunch. So without further ado, let's get to it. It'll be a short little session tonight. We're just doing one scene. I'd be surprised if we're still going in an hour. But with that said, let us get to it. Okay.
How did I know?
You're a bitch, girl.
There we go. Perfect. You can do that much without copyright infringement. Any more than that, and
Hey, that's not true.
DMCA
I'm
warnings.
Singing it. Yeah, I'm singing it. So. It's karaoke.
It's karaoke, which is just a blast, as we all know. Hey guys, we're gonna do a little short session tonight. Just a little role play, just a little session. But I think that thoughts and feelings definitely still applies here, as we are coming off of some pretty crazy stuff. Having an army on your heels, being back in this plane of existence for the first time in a while. So we'll do some thoughts and feelings just to kick us off here. So what I roll? That's a 3. That's Aaron. That's you. What's up, man? How's Galfast feeling?
It's a good question. I don't know if Galfast has been above ground long enough to know how he's feeling, but as of now, he's feeling pretty optimistic. He knows that if things start to go south, he actually has some connections in Edgetown. He will vanish in a moment if things go bad, and he will, meet some small-time crime lords and go back into that. So, yeah, worst case scenario, Galfast will disappear. So things are great.
Yeah, it's a good fallback plan. Who's next, bud?
Oh, I have to pick. I will pick Reed.
You will pick Reed. Joe, how's Reed feeling?
I knew it.
I knew it.
Reed, aka Cutie with a Booty, is feeling very relieved that we're back on the surface.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't feel like hard mode, but for everything, Reed still very much feels like it is going to be hard mode right now. Now all of the problems that we originally had are a little amplified. Now he feels like he's kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. He really wants to track down the next piece of the armor. He really wants to go back to Otheris and consult with the High Council and let them know what's going on. He also there's the Cobalt army to deal with. He just feels stretched thin personally.
Cool.
Because he feels obligated to those things.
Yeah, running a fucking paladin, they're goody two shoes, man. They can't let anything go. All right, who's next, bud?
Give me
Hey, about
a task.
Swing.
You said a task.
That is correct.
Cool. Atesk is pretty happy to be back where he first started his adventure, because we're basically not underground. He is a little worried, because it was I don't know. There's a lot going on. There's the kobolds that are kind of ravaging, and that's kind of our fault. We also didn't really do what Cade wanted us to do, and now we're back here, and he doesn't really know how Cade's going to feel about that. But it is nice to have the sun again. So Yeah, I guess a task is also just, he's not evil, so he doesn't really want to have brought forth a kobold army into Irigan that just got it back. So he definitely feels a little guilty. Yeah, and I think that's pretty much it.
Cool. Love that. Love that. Your victim, sire.
Anthony.
All right, Simone.
Simone has been in a haze ever since reaching, the surface. He's been not of his own body.
Yep.
He has been trying to, keep up,
Yep.
Essentially. But letting a lot of the party, he's been like almost under a spell, right? It's only until now that we are in Cade's, domain or whatever that he feels a part of himself again. And he's kind of coming to and doesn't really know what's going on.
Cool. Love that. And as a side note, Anthony was played by another player last session, so that is very that'll work out very well here. Or Simone rather. I believe you've got Kythar or Rowan. Your choice, sir.
I'm Rowan tonight.
You're Rowan tonight, so it's Kythar.
It's Kythar.
I was gonna joke around, say in character, please. Kythar's a chicken tonight. His noise gate kicked in, but I believe that was a we got out of him. You feel good about that? I'll give you a real one if you want it. If you don't, that's fine though.
I can't do any more with this fucking.
Okay,
voice.
you're good. You're good. Kythar, maybe it's a good thing Kythar's a chicken because all he can do is cluck right now. Sweet.
Yeah.
So then, super, super brief rundown is that after, I think, less than 24 hours, or maybe about 24 hours on the surface now, you guys have done one, camp session. You, pushed through another, what would be, regular sleeping interval in order to get there, to, create as much distance as possible between yourself and this army, which, you've now learned has, destroyed whatever may or may not have been rebuilt out of Irigan, and is just out in the swamp causing a bunch of fucking trouble. And you guys have made it here to Edgetown, to Cade's, domicile, inside of which there is this super intense magical energy. It's almost like walking into some place where there's static electricity throughout the air, where you can just kind of feel it on the back of your neck. It almost pulsates, right, with power. And so you guys have been here before. You've had these conversations with Cade. You're all sitting at the round table in the corner of the space that is behind the spiral staircase, but in front of the fireplace. You've all been sitting there, and for the first time ever, Cade is seated with the rest of you, and is, has his hand on the back of his neck, and the other, on the bridge of his nose between his eyes, as you guys have both been downloading each other on these huge chunks of information, on your guys' part, saying things like, him saying, I've been looking for you forever, where have you been? You guys answering we went down this hole and ended up in the Great Below, and that's where we've been. And we also woke up an ancient god while we were down there, and may or may not have brought some kobolds with us, no big deal. Meanwhile, Cade has told you guys things like, hey, those pieces of armor that I've had you guys go after, by the way, I made those, and the dragons hate me for it, and that is part of the reason why I operate through you guys, is because I don't want them to level any fucking town that I might show up in, much in the way that you guys have had not any town, but the same town leveled twice now, in your wake specifically. And there's been kind of a shout out to that. Kythar has been turned into a chicken out of pure random frustration, a roll of the dice. But we open.
Keep on saying random. It doesn't feel random.
You can scroll up, see that Game Master 5d6 dice roll that I made. That was how I made that selection last week. But
Fake news.
But you guys are all in this, in this space in Cade's tower. He is seated there having a discussion with you guys. I believe the last thing that anybody had talked about. I'm getting a little bit of feedback from you, Matt, I think. But
It could just be that your mic is a little close to your headphones. That happens sometimes.
yeah.
I wish those two things were
I'm
different.
currently muted, so
Sounds
That'll do it.
sounds good.
How's that?
That I can see it's quiet, but I think I can fix that. I'm just gonna turn you down a little bit in my own ears. Okay. The last thing that you guys had talked about was that you guys were like kind of alluding to some kobolds, right? Like you hadn't specifically said there's an army, but you had said we made some new friends. You guys had mentioned bringing those friends with you, and that those friends may or may not be kobolds. So you guys are all sitting around this tower. Cade is just like kind of like soaking in this information as everybody is sitting around the table, and then the door to Cade's tower, the front door, throws open, slams it. You guys have only ever seen it like unlatch and then slowly creak open. This thing like full blown, like there's a hurricane outside, smashes up against the side of this place. The wind that rushes in like almost blows out some of the magical torches and the sconces around on the walls and things. And there is the form of a like humanoid that is a shadow of one that is filling the doorway. And the party
and Kate is still sitting with us.
Kate is still sitting with you.
Who's this?
Look familiar?
So Cade walks in, takes his hand, waves it through the air, and the double sitting with you turns to ash.
In the same moment, Kythar reverts from a chicken back to his original form.
Okay.
So that wasn't you.
It was and it wasn't. I like to call him a life model decoy. I pull my hand from behind my back and I throw a kobold's head into the middle of the table.
And it lands and rolls, and as it rotates, you guys are able to see that this is the head of one of the priests, one of the kobold priests.
I don't mean to be an alarmist, but there's a bunch of these fucking things, and they're right outside the fucking gate.
of Edgeville?
Not all at once, don't just jump in here, anybody. Jesus.
I don't know how that happened. That's so crazy.
Don't we have a boat? Simone, the real guy with the boat? We gotta get out of
Reed is
here.
like already
Let me
out
stop
the
you.
door. Come on.
Let me stop you. I know everything that idiot knew. I know all of it. I heard everything you said. I don't even mind that he turned the other idiot into a chicken. Matter of fact, from now on, just basically whisper.
Okay.
Who wants to be the first to really break it to me? Where the fuck have you people been?
Yeah, so there's good news and there's bad news.
Oh,
Which
okay.
one?
Take it over then.
Yeah.
If
Okay,
this
so
takes
yeah.
longer than 2 minutes, I'm gonna turn you into a chicken.
Well, okay, we'll do like so. I'll start, right? I'll start with the good news. The good news is it's a beautiful day. It's not raining, and yeah, I mean a lot of smiles in the town. A lot of happy
I like
faces.
it. I like it when it rains.
But the bad
I'm
news.
trying to dig in here, man. I'm trying
Okay.
to find the patience in me.
Okay, but the bad news is that some of us decided that instead of fighting 10 kobolds, we'll go down to the giant hole, down to the great below, where we
Gray elves,
awoke
dark
a
elves.
giant, where we awoke an ancient god. One of us awoke an ancient god, and then
We'll have to come back to that.
we tried multiple ways to get out. The only way we could get out was by having a kobold army accompany us.
You know what is of interest to me? I think it's fascinating that I walk through the door, kill myself, and the rest of you are just fucking quiet?
We saw centaurs that are I don't know what you I don't know if that's what you really call them. They were
Centaurs is how
We've
it's
seen-
pronounced, I believe.
pretty. We've seen some crazy shit down there.
Seems a little racist, but we'll move on. I walk around the table and I sit with the party.
And he takes the seat of the double that was just sitting in the now empty chair.
Is there like a pool of the former body double that's there?
It evaporated, so no, yeah.
Okay.
Pardon me while I take a puff of this pipe. I just had to kill 3,000 or 4,000 kobolds.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, so they're all dead.
No.
Jeez.
No. There's more out there. I don't know if they breed a lot or what the fuck you did to them, but they're still coming. There's nothing I can do about it.
Oh yeah, they think that the dragons are returning. It was, I think, Simone actually. It was his idea to tell them that the dragons are returning and demobilized. So that could be. Simone, did you want to chime in? I don't know.
I mean, that's a fair assessment.
Yeah. I mean, I can. Fool. Yeah. So like, let me add some context here, Puto. Like these guys are just saying, oh, we did that, we did this. Okay, let me add some context here, right? We went into a cave.
Yeah, he's adding context.
Thank you. We'll get back to Atesk. He's the one that released the ancient god. We'll get back to that though. We were in a cave that had drow in it. Drow were in the
Put that
cave.
small detail together.
Drow were in the cave.
It was in the Great Below.
And that's not true. We were not in the Great Below yet. Drow were in the cave. We killed all the drow. We released the kobolds. They said that Nox sent them there. And so we were, and that's the hold of the Great Below. When we tried to leave,
Is Nox the one that you killed or the one that you didn't kill?
Nox is the one we did not kill.
Good. Cool. Great. Keep going.
Yes. And Saltwing is the one we killed.
Sweet.
And
Loving
so
this.
The kobold got completely destroyed by tens of arrows. So instead of fucking walking out there and getting killed by tens of arrows, we decided to go through the Great Below, even though we were told don't do it several times.
Not our finest decision.
All right. Honesty. I can appreciate the honesty.
Yeah.
The whole God thing, you have no idea what you've done. You can't. You wouldn't be sitting here talking to fucking me if you knew what you have actually done. But we're gonna revisit that point. I'm sure that that little detail will come back to us in real life. I think probably. I think we'll be confronted with that obstacle. Super great. I don't know how else to make this sound less sarcastic, but really proud of each and every one of you. Really proud.
Thank you.
I mean,
No.
we're
It'll just be a
alive.
footnote in history.
We're all alive still, and we're here.
You're the
to
first
give
I
you the
kill.
news that
All right,
happened.
you're the first fucking guy I kill when this is over with. I need you right now, and you're gonna find out why in a moment. I promise you. These kobold, what do you want to do next?
Do we have a retirement plan, or do we have a 401k?
I mean,
we want to follow what you told us to do.
when you
Well-
abruptly disappeared, and I could not find you, I
Yeah.
sent agents out into the world, came back with nothing. I myself have never left my tower, not in 10,000 years.
So you do care about us.
I don't know if you understand the jeopardy that the world is actually in and the perilous place that we all teeter upon, but I am your last fucking hope. I
Is it
am your
because of the
fucking
kobolds?
retirement plan. You don't get to live.
Battery low.
You don't get to exist. You don't get to breathe air. You don't get to fucking enjoy food without my help. And to go somewhere else and run away from the mission that you agreed to, mind you, that you took an oath to undergo. Does frustrate me a little bit. I might turn that guy back into a chicken. I'm not. I want to be honest about my frustrations. We're all getting to know each other.
And as Cade gets this like head of steam that he's beginning to collect, you guys can all physically feel like a humming, like a vibration, like a little, like you guys can feel the bottoms of your feet and the cobblestones that they're on just like physically just like boom, starting to just like vibrate.
I have to explain to you in plainer terms, I think what you've undertaken. I maybe have been too grandiose and too reliant on my scroll work to allow you all to have prepared yourselves instead of giving you some information that you should probably have. The dragons that are coming after you know who you are.
You already told us that.
Here's the other side of that coin, is that the armor that I have been uncursing, let's call it, and taking the symbols off that will show them where you are. Unfortunately, I didn't realize that all of the treasure and all of the loot that you have been collecting is also cursed.
Awesome.
All of the dragon loot that you have currently, everything that you wear, everything that you've spent, it can all be tracked back to you, and therefore me. So the cat's out of the bag, if you will, on that. It's less that they know who you are. It's more that they know where you are, and there's really nowhere to go except to fight them. We have to stop them. And we have to do so pretty quickly, or things are going to get pretty bad for everyone. Not just the people in this room, but everyone you've ever known and loved. And I don't know if that's clear or not. I don't know. That might seem a little, a little heavy, but I guess get your shit together comes to mind.
And in this empty kind of like space, you guys can hear the sounds of like multiple sets of like footprints, like footfalls making their way. There's a lot of like motion and activity happening outside the door. You hear the sound of somebody just like you can't tell what the words are, but there's like motion happening on the other side of the cave door.
Are those the kobolds?
I regret to inform you that there are kobolds outside. They cannot get inside, so as long as we stay in here for now, we are safe. But that's not going to last very long.
So this is a great example of how we ended up in the Great Below. We were in this exact situation.
If you had a hole full for us to jump through, we would jump through it right now.
I think the time is coming where something may have to be undertaken, but you have a very limited amount of time to use me for information. I have a suspicion that things are not going to go our way, and I want to prepare you for what comes next.
Okay, so two things. How do we get the next piece of the armor, and what the fuck is going on with the god?
We're going to put a pin in the god, only because it's going to take a lot of fortitude to stop it, and there's nothing you can do right now. The god isn't coming at us head on. We can take a beat. I do think that what you're doing to get this armor is going to be a crucial part of making up for the mistakes that you've caused.
Okay,
Why did you let the god out?
What?
I think this is a question for A-Test. Fool, A-Test, do you want to answer that one?
Yeah, I got this. So you know how we got down into the grave below, right? We kind of told you about that. And
There was a cave.
We effectively got lost, let's be honest here. So we had to find our way out, okay? And this little dwarf goblin gnome dude. I you know, at this point it's been so long and it was so dark I don't even remember. He told us to go to this temple, so we went in there and we touched some stuff, and then Stover almost died, or Professor almost died, and then there was this voice,
Until he did
and then we ran away.
That explains it. That explains it thoroughly.
Easy peasy.
That I asked why, not how, but fair enough. I guess we get to it when we get to it.
There wasn't really a why. It was just,
Well,
you know, we're looking for a way out.
Yeah,
We're looking
just
for a
trying
way
to
out.
get out. Yeah.
You're saying
Trying to get out.
it was
We're trying to get back
unintentional.
to the mission.
It was unintentional.
Frankly,
were
we didn't know
given
what we were
bad
doing.
Information.
We had no idea. It was an accident.
Well, let's.
And I'm sorry.
I'm sure it's gonna come back. I just want you guys to be prepared for that when it happens.
Not in my lifetime.
Oh no. Oh no. I promise you. In your lifetime. If I have anything to say about it.
At the rate I'm going, I'm not going to live very long.
Okay, so we're putting a pin in the god. What about the next piece of armor?
The next piece of armor is out in the world. We have to figure out a way out of this situation first, but the armor is going to start drawing you to it with these other pieces. Now that you're back in the world, the things are going to change. The dragons are on the way. They may be here already. You can't go out the way you came. We're going to have to figure out something else. But before we do, I feel like there is a part of the story missing. Each and every one of you has come together to try and save the world. You maybe didn't start out to do it, but now there's more at stake than maybe even you know. And the dragons are the key to it all. If we can get every piece of armor, and it's a big if, but if we can get every piece of armor, we can unlock something. I'm reticent to tell you the whole story, but there's a piece of this at the end that you will find that will answer every question, that will give you every rich, that will find the peace that you all seek. But the next piece of armor is going to be the hardest to get.
Screams outside the door.
We're
Continue, fool?
yeah, we're clinging to what Cade's saying.
I'm older than I look.
You moisturize, fool?
I do. Burdock root. I wasn't always a wizard. I wasn't always human.
Oh. You were a chicken, fool?
Were you a dragon?
Dragons are more than they seem in the sky. They're more than they seem from just the breath that they cause. They are the interwoven magic. They are the night and the day. And a long time ago, there was goodness in dragons. They didn't command armies. They didn't hoard treasure. They didn't fight amongst themselves, and they surely didn't fight lesser beings or mortal beings. And then something changed. What?
There's just been like a rumbling, you know, that you guys felt at your feet. There's a hard thud. Poof. The whole tower kind of. You guys can feel it like you know, 4.0 earthquake level sway. Whoa, whoa.
That didn't feel like a kobold.
Cade stands up and walks over to the door and spins the dial. Nothing happens.
Weren't we supposed to, like, transport around, fool?
Not anymore. Those aren't kobolds out there. Those are dragons.
More scrapes.
And they're coming in. And
Do you have it
notice how
back
I
to the room?
didn't say dragon.
Books
we
start
are
books
the
start
plural.
books start rattling and falling off of the walls. You guys hear like the clatter of the glass, and a lot of these like display cases are rattling so hard that a bunch of them begin to crack, and spider webs start to show up on a bunch of them. Then the
Unless
entire
you have
tower is
exit
still
strategy.
swaying.
I'm gonna be like, well, with all the shit that you got in here, fool, we have to have something that can help.
Cade waves his hand and creates a small barrier above our heads.
It
It's
just
not gonna last for long. Arm yourselves.
I summon Will.
great. Takes however much time it takes.
I am, getting my shield ready. Is there anything in here that I think would be super useful and more helpful than what I've got? I mean,
No.
I've already got the shield.
No,
so-
it looks like the roof is about to cave in on you. So a big shield is pretty much the perfect equipment for what it looks like is about to happen.
Yep. Okay, that's it. Above our heads. Kaithar, put the helmet on.
Oh, shit.
Oh, fuck. I put the helmet. Well, I thought you had the helmet. Give me the helmet.
I would hurry if I were you.
I'll give him the helmet.
I'll put the helmet on.
You put the helmet on, Kaithar?
Yep.
You place this helmet on your head, and as soon as it is seated, and your like eyes adjust, because it does have kind of a Viking-esque, eye hole mask, and so as you are adjusting, you can make out almost like a heat map. You know what I mean? Like an aura of energy that you can see moving in circles, 2, 3, 4 of them overhead, and you see one of them come growing larger and larger and larger, and then boom, the entire tower rocks against itself again. A huge chunk of the ceiling does in fact collapse and land upon Cade's force barrier that he's got up, and through the gap in the now exposed section of the roof, you can see that those heat maps do in fact align with a couple of dark scaled forms that can be nothing but dragons. Now that there's a broken barrier, sound travels much more clearly. You guys can hear frightened screams, the sound of crackling wood burning, tons of steel on steel noises, the shrill cries of kobolds, and the deep commands of city guards back and forth along the tower. Cade's tower is still largely intact, but it has started to deteriorate, right? It is under attack.
We don't have long. You guys need to listen. Trust the armor. Find the next piece. I'm gonna do what I can to stop these guys. You only got one shot at this. Good luck.
Cade...
You're not gonna die, right?
Cade channels a bunch of magic into the dial, which you can see next to the door, which you can see turns and jerks awkwardly, spinning. There are set locations, set glyphs that it can indicate on, but it is stuck between two of them, and you can see a new wedge is literally beginning to form on the dial as it's kind of stuck on there, fidgeting back and forth. Cracks are appearing in the dial itself and the door, and as he releases the energy on that, the wedge grows. Most of them are 20% of the entire circle, right? But this little 7% sliver wedge, cracks open. The door, unlatches and just kind of scrapes along the ground. And as it opens up, there's a opalescent sheen on the door, and you can see that it opens up into another space somewhere. Simultaneously, the rest of Cade, this takes enough energy that Cade drops the force barrier. A bunch of the ceiling falls and lands next to him and a few of the rest of you. One bounces off of your shield reed as you guys are like moving into a huddle together. In these like last moments that you guys are in this space and in Cade's presence, is there anything that either of you would like to say to the other half?
Don't die. We'll see you on the other side.
I wish you luck in the wars to come.
How do we find you?
In this case, I'll have to be the one to find you. If I survive, look to the east.
This isn't the time to be poetic, Cade. Where do we look for you, puto?
I come with the rising sun.
Jesus Christ.
and with that, he, a huge chunk of this tower collapses in. Like snaking in is the long scaled neck of a dragon that is unfamiliar to you guys, not one that you have come into contact with yet. Simultaneously, Cade's form begins to shift, and he rockets up in like a Street Fighter-esque uppercut, going towards
He's
this
doing
thing.
Super Saiyan.
And as he does, in the same way that a Tesk has summoned a dragon, it looks like that process is happening with him at the core of it, as these spans of energy fly out in both directions, which transform themselves into wings, and his form like hits this, and both of them get ripped upward and outward from the space. But as these two forms are spiraling off into the distance, and you guys are moving through the doorway into the portal out of here, Cade's form does in fact shift into that of the same size and scale of the dragon. These are now two dragons intertwined with each other, corkscrewing off into the distance as they land with a thud, and you guys move through the portal and out of Cade's tower to wherever he has decided to place you. And here we are 40 minutes later, pretty much what I called on the nose through the conversation with Cade. He has magically moved you all out of the space into what appears to be like an empty room. It looks like a very unimposing space, but there's not a crate, not a piece of furniture, not a footprint in the dust. This place is all like cobwebs, and though there is a workbench that does have a few items on it, it's obvious that none of that has been touched, and no like living being has been in this place for quite some time. And you guys do hear like the sound of like city life, going on outside of the walls. But you're in this like kind of small, cramped workspace. The door having, closed behind you awkwardly with that same, spinning and gut-wrenching feeling that you guys have all come to experience as you are being like teleported from one space to another. I think that this may be the first time that some of you have done it without vomiting, as a matter of fact. But it was a particularly rough trip. Not as like if the guild teleportation is as streamlined as it gets, and that's a 10. This was a 6 to get you here. But you guys are all sitting in this kind of like empty space. The sounds of battle and like uproar have all given way to much quieter, subtle, and more familiar sounds. Go ahead. No, please.
No, read just what the fuck? So Cade's dragon, I think it looks like. We got multiple dragons now. They know where we're at. Fuck.
I don't think Iomade wants you talking like that, fool.
We're really getting dragged into this, you know what I mean? And I'm gonna elbow.
God. Instinct.
It looks like they're really scaling up their attacks. See, they're made of scales, fool.
Hey, that joke was fire, Anthony.
So we're supposed to listen to the armor. Kaitha, are you seeing anything in there? And then, while he's doing that, I'm gonna like, is there like a map or anything that I can get out of this fucking thing, or like, I'm gonna try and figure as much out as I can, and I'll spend as much time as I need to trying to figure it out.
That's fair. We may. I think we're gonna pick up next week because I really only needed to get you guys through Matt's encounter so that I wasn't, stringing him along for a future conversation. So now that we're there, you guys will be able to, kind of go from there. I will say this: you don't need to look for a map as much as all you'll need to do is open the door. But that'll be a dramatic moment that I want to start next session with. So we can start next session with you opening the door to see where the fuck you are, and if any of you guys recognize the place and all that kind of stuff. But big thank you to Matt for being here.
Thanks, Matt.
Yeah,
Thanks, Matt.
You're welcome.
Cool. And then I will take some time, get ready. We're still 2 weeks out from Christmas, so I'm assuming everybody should be good next week to play.
Yeah, I should be.
Yeah, I have class next Wednesday, so I will be.
So your normal 7-ish.
I don't know about me.
You don't know about you?
I will have more information for you probably this weekend.
You're gonna probably be in Canada, right?
I will definitely be in Canada. Yes. So
I'll be doing dragon shit.
Dragons.
I might. I think it's 2 or 3 hours ahead. So
Okay.
I might have to call it early if I do hop on, but I'm not sure exactly what I'm doing next week, so it's still up in the air.
Okay. Well, as soon as you know, if you let us know, because if we have one known cancel, if you're not going to be there as well, then that'll pretty much cinch it for us. So just let us know. And if we got to take some time off, that's not a big deal, because it's the holidays. We usually take a little time off around the holidays anyway. So.
Well, Wednesday is Christmas and New Year's, so.
Right. So that'll be an obvious kind of a couple of weeks that we'll take. Sick. So then there it is. I'm gonna go drop stream. I'm hoping that we'll still play for the rest of game day or the rest of game night rather, guys night. But that is what I had prepared. That's what I had prepared for tonight because I didn't have to do anything and Matt did everything. So.
Isn't that so awesome?
Full lies.
Dude,
Full lies.
I highly recommend bringing in friends for key NPC roles. Such a good, so great. Love it.
I feel like I overcommit sometimes.
No.
Yeah, it's so great. I'm here for it.
I'd say you're right on the money there.
Thank God for cannabis. All right. Good night, guys.
There it is.
Good night.
See ya.
Good night, Matt.
All right, guys. I'm gonna go drop the stream and then I'll be back in just a minute. This might be a good time for our normal break if people have to bathroom or whatever.
I'll be right back.
Yeah. All right, guys. Cool. Well, short session. 43 minutes. Little mini sesh. But here we are. It's all good. It's all fun. We'll catch you guys next week, 7-ish Pacific Standard Time. Be here. Be there. Be square later.